Welcome, YouTube. Thanks for tuning in to another StarCraft 2 broadcast. Anaris here, bringing you the epic conclusion to the best-of-3 match series between TvZ, spawning as the blue Zerg down in the 7 o'clock position, against the little one, the red Terran, up in the 3. So mTW versus Team Liquid, Assembly Summer 2011. And if you've been following this series so far, you know that these guys have been giving it their all. The little one so far has shown a very interesting, call it creative, mech opener, going for gas first, followed by barracks and factory, getting out that early Hellion with the intention of harassing the mineral line, anticipating TvZ, going for that early economic build that involves usually 15 hatch, 16 hatch, following it up with a lot of droning, putting him in what would be a superior economic position going into the mid-game there. But the little one has had limited success, really hampering TvZ's efforts at improving his own income. So the little one may do the same strategy here, may do something different. Already we see he is dropping down that refinery, so I think we are going to spot that same build. Now let's look down here at TvZ for just a second. Currently sitting on 14 supply. No real indicator just yet. Pretty much all we can say at this point is that we're not going to see him opening up with a conservative play with that gas first, trying to get that metabolic boost upgrade. But we will keep an eye on him. In the meantime, let's head up here. TvZ is going to be scouting this player out in just a second. He's going to spot, okay, there's the barracks, there's the gas. He knows exactly what's going on. We do have that expansion going down now for TvZ. You can see it's 16 supply. One thing I want to point out right now, this is something that I really like about this map and expanding here, is that the Zerg player, what he can do in order to limit harassment. Now, I'm saying this because the little one so far has shown in the previous 2 games that he does indeed go for this. The TvZ, he can place a structure here, something like this, to force the Terran player to, number one, this choke point would obviously shrink, but it's going to force the Terran player to come back around and then double back into the mineral line to finally actually hit with the Hellions. Now, by doing this, if the attack comes with the timing of the creep already spread all the way out here, you know, which it would be if the buildings were right there, then that's going to mean that the Terran player is really going to have to commit to getting this attack and doing that damage, or else he's going to suffer very heavy consequences. Because with all this creep spread right here, this is basically just a death trap, especially if there's Zerglings and Queens and Spine Crawlers all here. Then the little one is going to be forced to do as much damage as possible and basically hope for the best. So we're going to be looking to see what TvZ does here. Of course, the little one already bringing over his SCV, checking out the base. He's going to see, okay, there's the spawning pool. Just popped up a second or two ago. I may have actually seen that just pop, but either way, not that big of a deal right now. Okay, there's the Spine Crawler going down as well. So again, TvZ continuing up with the drones, getting 2 Zerglings, pretty much just enough to make this pesky little SCV shoo away and continue on with his economy. Also got 2 Queens on the way. Sure enough, there goes the Zerglings. Now, pay attention here, the little one going ahead with his command center, and you'll notice that the factory just pumped out his first Hellion. This is a little bit of a change in the timing that we've seen in the previous 2 games. The last 2, we did see him actually go ahead and get out these Hellions and then expand once he actually had map control. But I think maybe he's just taking a little bit more of a risk, knowing it's kind of a big map, and he knows TvZ really isn't going to have the capability to project any serious force over his way. So for now, he's just continuing on, basically taking control of this area. He wants to watch the middle of the map, pop off any Zerglings, basically deny TvZ that comfort of knowing whether or not an attack is coming. So TvZ has planned for this event. You see, he's already got the Spine Crawler, shifting it over into position, basically to cover this spot right here. And here comes the Hellions. You see no structures here to actually guard against the Hellions running directly into the mineral line. But with the Spine Crawler here, oh, Hellions actually just going to go directly off of the creep. Very smart move by the little one, trying to make these Queens run off of the creep there. You see he's doing exactly that, and now he's trying to block him in the mineral line for the main base. Oh, man. We just see the worker skills so far up to 2, so not really that bad at this point. With the 3rd Hellion in the field, oh man, they're so close to dying. He's got to watch out. He's very, very fortunate that Spine Crawler attacked the one that had a lot of health. But now you see he's going to lose all of those Hellions. Now, did he do enough damage? Whoa, 15 drones on the way, man. Go TvZ. You see 6 Well, he kind of did in terms of at least paying for the Hellions there. But, so I'd say it's certainly more effective than he has been in the previous two games with the Hellion pressure. Let's just say that. So, an improvement all around in terms of returns for the Hellion harassment. So as far as income goes now, 28 to 38. So again, DIMAGA really sitting in a good spot, as he does have a third hatchery going down. This macro hatch will actually not only provide additional larvae, but the positioning of it will allow DIMAGA to create a choke point right here, which can be blocked off by 2 queens, really trying to prevent that Hellion run-by that we had just a brief time ago. Of course, if the little one wanted to try to commit to that again, he would have to run all the way around, which would leave the mineral line exposed. But, you know, I don't really think that's actually going to be the case. We do have the Hellions indeed actually running around here. Again, he's getting trashed. He's hoping for results. It's the same results that he had last time, but no, there's just really no way he's going to pull that off, especially since he does not have the blue flame upgrade. Now, there has been question, I think a couple comments in a previous video about why he hadn't gotten this yet, and I feel that you saw he did get the upgrade in game number 2. One thing I want to point out in game number 1 and game number 3 that so far is different is you see the little one is focusing really on a bio-oriented army now. In game number 2, he focused a little bit more on mech, so getting that upgrade seemed a little bit more wise since he'd be using Hellions a lot more frequently. But since he's using them basically as an in the role as an opening move and not as a focus for later game, then that's probably why he's not actually getting that. But now you see DIMAGA spreading the creep out here. This is really going to help him out. You see, this is a very wide open space, and actually it looks like he canceled the creep tumor, moving it way away from the Hellion here. But the nice thing about this is when the Terran player comes down to this, he is really going to have to commit to making this attack work. Oh, nice popping off that creep tumor there. Definitely not something that DIMAGA wants to have. But anyways, you see the Zerg player, once he gets a bunch of Zerglings, which he already has a few of them, he's going to be able to basically run up here and be super quick, doubly so because the fact that speed upgrade has completed, and allow the queens to contribute to the defense here. Now you see the little one here doing a very smart move. He is moving his forces to the choke point, trying to limit the ability of the Zerg player to get a complete surround on the units, but he is forced to retreat back behind the watchtower and basically just kick back or step back 40 and punt. Now, as a result of that attack, you could see, or the Hellion harassment earlier, 48 to 47, so the SCV count's actually not too bad right now. Looking pretty good overall, and Armory is on the way. We do have 2 additional factories going down as well, so we could actually see him bring in, I think, maybe some siege tanks, Thor, something like that, but judging the fact that we have a lot of barracks here, I think they're primarily just going to be in a support role, not so much the main focus of the army that we saw earlier. Again, I feel like that's a pretty good response right now, because, I mean, you see he's got a ton of Zerglings out here, not much else. So bringing out a whole bunch of Thors and siege tanks definitely would not be a good thing, and the fact that he's already committed so heavily to this bio play. That being said, I like how the little one is still making good use of these Hellions here, coming out and trying to do a decent bit of damage, soften up the Zerglings, which you see running around, just basically poking and prodding, barely outside of the range of the creep. But I mean, the creep is kind of like the confidence level of the Zerg, I've noticed. The more creep they've got on the map, the more ballsy they're going to be, and if you can get in there and deny the Zerg player all that creep running around, they're going to be a little bit more defensive. I mean, obviously that's not a hard and fast rule, but at least that's something that I've noticed, a little psychological thing that applies quite frequently when playing against a Zerg player. So, for now, we have the little one realizing, oh crap, Mita's going to bring in the Marines real super quick, and yep, Zerga's going to have to fall back because Terran had superior positioning there and superior forces compared to what he actually was bringing to the table. If he had some Banelings, that would have been a completely different story, but for now, Stim Marines, very fearsome opponent. DIMAGA, realizing, okay, I need to do some type of economic damage here, possibly could go into the mineral line. Now let's take a look. The little one already knows, okay, it's getting to be about that time. I'm going to drop some turrets here, and DIMAGA spots that. So you see he's really limiting his harassment to the gas, wants to try to delay any sort of tech, any sort of mech play. Tech mech, but yep, you see, of course, the little one going to be repairing that very quickly. And as far as economy goes now, 59 to 67. APM currently 170 to 195. Units, let's take a look at that. 28 Marines. We do have a Thor just popped into the field. Oh, that's definitely not a good thing, losing that siege tank. Oh, so crucial unit there at the top ledge. Very safe and secure from the Zerglings there. Unfortunately, not from the Mutalisks, so that will indeed drop. DIMAGA going for his third base out here. He's feeling pretty confident at this point. You see, he's got good map control here in the middle, working on spreading his creep out towards the Terran base ever so slowly. And I don't mean to say he's going slowly, I just mean to say, well, you got one creep tumor, it can only go so fast. But Muta's going to be coming around, it looks like maybe back to the mineral line, where there are 3 mules, very high priority target. Is he going to spot those and take them out? Oh, he's going to go for the depot first, and now trying to pick off some of these SCVs that are working beside the supply depots, really trying to limit the growth of the Terran army. There's that Thor getting off of 1 javelin missile there. Didn't really do a whole lot of splash damage. Fortunately, just clipped the edge there for DIMAGA, so worked out pretty well in his favor. But it basically says, okay, I've got Thors, I'm ready to move out, I can handle what you're going to be bringing to the table here in terms of that air harassment. There's that blue flame upgrade we were talking about earlier. So he is indeed, he might actually be looking to transition a little bit more of a balanced build here, as the Marines, again, very effective against the Mutalisk, but maybe not the focus here so far. The Thors obviously excelling at dealing damage to those mutas, and of course we could see that there are a decent number of those running around, 16 of them to be exact. 24 Banelings though, that is definitely something that DIMAGA could be using to great effect here. And oh man, siege tanks left wide open there, as you see the Marines are actually just trying to chase the mutas, doing the long approach to DIMAGA's base, probably trying to regroup there and maybe hold out a good solid defense. But the little one, again, the siege tank's good positioning behind the choke points here, and you see DIMAGA trying to maybe pop out to see what he could do. But the little one, you see he's got the Thor out here, is like, come on, get me. Come and get me. So that's exactly what he's doing. He wants to try to bait in some of those Banelings and draw in the Zerg player into this line, where you see going through these 2 choke points right here, Zerg is coming in full force, annihilating the siege tanks, taking out the Thor, and pressing onward, regaining that map control. Just looking at the units lost or the resources lost, dead even right now, but still coming out of this with a commanding 30 supply lead right now. DIMAGA is feeling very confident, moving into what could be the next battle here. Oh man. That wouldn't have been the best position to attack, that little choke spot right there. But still, I mean, he's got the speed. He's pretty darn close to the creep there. Of course, that's going to be re-expanding as well. And looking at the income now, it's pretty solid. I'm not going to lie. 64 to 69. Zerg spiking up to about 2K there. And again, that's what having that third base does for you, man. The mules obviously keeping the little one in the game here. In terms of minerals, things looking pretty good, man. Looking good for both players. However, the little one at 30 supply gap is still present. Now look, it just went up a whole bunch. 52 Zerglings on the way. Oh, DIMAGA, you scary beast, you. Going to be possibly looking for a push here, as he is losing creep more and more. Is going to be going down. Oh, the Zergling's coming in for a retaliatory strike. Muta's coming in as well. Oh, this could be... Oh, yes. Let's say could be an assault, but those Banelings getting hit like that, you really don't want to have those leading the charge getting all popped off right off the bat. So, for now, unit composition, you can see 24 Banelings, plenty of Zerglings. I feel like the Zerg is in an exceptionally strong position. We don't have any more Thors running around in the middle of the field. We're going to really miss those to absorb the damage from the Banelings, so the little one is going to have to really push forward. So with some strong Marine micro, does he have what it takes, man? That's going to be the question here. I'm really looking to see if he's going to be able to pull off with this next attack. DIMAGA currently sitting on 1 armor upgrade. You see he has melee attack level 1, armor 2, and weapons 1 for the Mutalisks, who are going to be coming into the mineral line, possibly looking for some harassment. But again, look at all those SCVs just sitting around for the little one. Definitely not a good thing to have happen. While he continues to press forward, taking out the creep, again trying to push back the Zerg area of influence and maybe try to get his own high-yield expansion. But with the Zerg already having one, the Mutas running around, taking off Marines one by one, trying to lock down this mineral line. He's just in a great spot, 121 to 190, 70 supply gap now, as absolutely huge with this giant pack of mutas trying to guard the high yield. Even with these Marines running around, you see there's not that many of them, and they are fairly dinged up. Those poor two medevacs. But here we go, folks. Zerglings coming in, getting a good surround, taking those siege tanks out of the picture right off the bat. The Zerglings surround as well on the ram, forcing a GG from the little one, concluding the best-of-3 match series. What a game, folks. DIMAGA, exceptionally strong performance, solid mechanics, good economy, and you saw what it got him, man. A victory in the best-of-3 series. So, he will continue on Assembly Summer 2011. If you liked the video, guys, please let me know. Leave a comment, like it, and if you feel it's so inclined, subscribe. That helps me out a ton. Alright, guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.